Hello students, today I am going to start with lesson 19 Preventive Measures Part 2. In today's video, we will discuss the different ways to conserve energy and the meaning and characteristics of organic farming. Coal, crude oil and natural gas are fossil fuels. We have discussed the meaning and formation of fossil fuels in great detail in Lesson 6, Rocks. Fossil fuels are the major source of energy in the modern world. The percentage of commercial energy provided by the fossil fuels is coal 28%, petroleum 40%, and natural gas 20%. The burning of fossil fuels causes air pollution, global warming, and acid rain, as discussed in the previous lessons. Moreover, these are non-renewable sources of energy. At the present rate of usage, the coal reserves are likely to last for about 200 years. Crude oil reserves will be exhausted in just 50 years. Therefore, it is essential that we start using alternative sources of energy like solar energy, tidal energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, and biomass-based energy. The advantages of these sources of energy are that they are not only renewable sources of energy but are environmentally clean and safe to use. In India, fossil fuels are being used at an alarming rate. If this trend continues, the fossil fuels will not last long. In urban areas, hydroelectric power is used. Though it is a clean fuel, it creates environmental problems because of the huge dams that are constructed. Some of these problems are: for the construction of big dams, large areas of forests and agricultural lands get submerged under water. As you can see in this picture, this is a dam, and behind the dam a huge reservoir of water has been created. And for the creation of this reservoir, large areas of forests and agricultural lands are submerged under water. Building a dam disrupts ecosystem of the river and destroys the aquatic as well as terrestrial life around it. If an earthquake takes place, then along with the cracks in the ground, there would be a flood and large pieces of the broken dam have to be coped with. Another serious consequence of building big dams is the large-scale displacement of people from their homes. For example, the large reservoir created by the Bhakra Dam on Satluj River displaced a large population from the district of Bilaspur in Himachal Pradesh. About 371 villages were submerged. So, people lose their ancestral home as well as their community life and traditional occupations. They have to face the uncertainties of resettling in unfamiliar and often inhospitable locations. Urban areas use the maximum energy resources while rural areas do not have enough energy supply. Even today, 74% of India lives in rural areas and depends on traditional fuels to meet their energy needs. In order to decrease the energy crisis, we should take the following steps. Energy conservation can be as simple as turning off lights or appliances when you do not need them. Traditional light bulbs consume an excessive amount of energy and must be replaced by CFL bulbs and tubes, which help to save money, use less energy, and lower greenhouse gas emissions. LED lights are also more efficient and long-lasting. When purchasing an appliance, you should look for an appliance with the Energy Star label, which is a guarantee that the appliance will consume less energy. Commuting does not mean that you have to drive everywhere. You can walk or use a bicycle. Your health will also improve. Poorly insulated doors and windows can result in an increase of 10 to 25% on your bills. So make sure that your house is well insulated. Do regular cleaning of your dishwasher, refrigerator, air conditioner, and other appliances filters. Clean the lint out of the washing machine. The machines will perform more efficiently. Do not waste more water than you have to. Avoid showers because showering wastes a lot of water. Typically, you use 20 liters of water per minute as you shower, or you can use a low flow shower head to reduce water consumption. Use public transport or carpool to save fuel and extend the life of your vehicle. Use solar energy like solar cookers and solar water heaters. It is cheaper in the long run and kinder to the environment. Unplug battery chargers as soon as the battery is fully charged or when the chargers are not in use. Most chargers continue to draw power even when not charging a device. Use natural light whenever possible. Simply open curtains and let sunlight in. Now we begin with organic farming. Organic farming is a system which is primarily aimed at cultivating the land and raising crops in such a way as to keep the soil alive and in good health by the use of organic waste, that is crop, animal and farm waste, aquatic waste, etc., and other biological materials along with biofertilizers to release nutrients to the crops for increased sustainable production in an eco-friendly, pollution-free environment. Organic farming excludes the use of synthetic inputs such as chemical fertilizers, pesticides, hormones, and feed additives, and relies upon crop rotation, crop residue, animal manure, organic waste, and biological system of nutrient mobilization and plant protection. Modern organic farming was developed as a response to the environmental harm caused by the use of chemical pesticides and synthetic fertilizers in conventional agriculture, and it has numerous ecological benefits. Compared with conventional agriculture, organic farming uses fewer pesticides, reduces soil erosion, decreases nitrate leaching into groundwater and surface water, and recycles animal waste back into the farm. Now let us see how organic farming actually works. In organic farming, it is important to constantly work to build a healthy soil that is rich in organic matter and has all the nutrients that plants need. Several methods like addition of manures and biofertilizers can be used to build up soil fertility. Vermicomposting is also used to create compost. It is a method of using earthworms to transform organic waste into a nutrient-rich fertilizer. As you can see in this picture over here, you can see the earthworms at work transforming organic waste into fertilizer. Earthworms feed on the organic waste material and give out excreta in the form of vermicasts that are rich in nitrates and minerals such as phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, and potassium. These are used as fertilizers and enhance soil quality. These organic sources not only add different nutrients to the soil, but also help to prevent weeds and increase soil organic matter to feed soil microorganisms. Soil with high organic matter resists soil erosion, holds water better, and thus requires less irrigation. Soil fertility can also be increased by using green manure. Green manure is created by leaving plants to wither on a field. They are plowed and incorporated into the soil while green or shortly after flowering. As you can see in these two pictures, here you can see the green plants are being plowed directly into the soil. Here also you can see the green plants are being plowed into the soil. Green manure provides nutrients to the soil. The plants break down in the soil, releasing important nutrients like nitrogen in case of leguminous crops like peas. It also helps to prevent soil erosion and weed growth. In organic farming, chemical herbicides cannot be used for weed management. So, weeding can be done only manually. Different practices like flooding and mulching can be used to manage the weeds. Flooding of fields can kill the weed seeds and majority of emerged weed seedlings. Mulch is a protective covering spread on the soil to prevent weeds by keeping light from reaching the soil surface. It also prevents soil erosion and enriches the soil. For example, hay, straw, sawdust, etc. As you can see in this picture, the field has been covered with straw. So here you can see the process of mulching going on. When the ground is fallow, now here fallow means that the land is plowed but is not sown for a period of time to let the soil regain its fertility. So when the ground is fallow, cover crops can be planted to suppress weeds and build soil quality. Cover crops are planted to cover the soil rather than for the purpose of being harvested. Cover crops manage soil erosion and soil fertility. A vigorous, fast-growing cover crop competes strongly with weeds for space, light, nutrients and moisture, and can reduce weed growth by 80 to 100%. Examples of cover crops are peas, beans, rye, oats, etc. The main strategy to combat harmful pests is to build a population of beneficial insects that feed off the eggs of pests. For example, ladybird, praying mantis, spiders, beetles, parasitic wasps, etc. When faced with the pest outbreak that cannot be handled by beneficial insects, the use of natural or other organically approved insecticides like neem pesticides is done. Here you can see ladybird, praying mantis, and these are the other beneficial insects which can be used in organic farming to get rid of pests. Another problem is the management of plant diseases. Proper fertility management of crops through balanced supply of macro and micronutrients and adoption of crop rotation have shown to improve the resistance of crops to certain diseases. Here, macronutrients refer to those nutrients which are required by the soil in relatively larger quantities like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. And micronutrients are those which are required in trace amounts or in very less amounts like boron, zinc, iron, manganese, copper, etc. Thus, one of the biggest rewards of organic farming is a healthy soil that is alive with beneficial organisms. These healthy microbes and bacteria keep the harmful bacteria and microbes that cause disease in check. Nitrogen is a critical element for plant growth and production. In organic farming, nitrogen self-sufficiency is maintained through the use of legumes like peas and beans and biological nitrogen fixation. The bacteria in the root nodules of plants take the gaseous nitrogen from the air and reduce it to a form the plant can use for growth. In this picture, you can see the root nodules in the pea plant, which is a leguminous plant. Organic farmers try to achieve the goal of healthy livestock on their farms. Fodder is provided in adequate quality and quantity. There is sufficient access to clean drinking water. Clean sheds of sufficient size and with adequate light and fresh air are provided. There is sufficient freedom to move around and perform their natural behavior. Healthy conditions and veterinary follow-up is done when needed. There is sufficient contact with other animals but no stress due to overcrowding. The farmers provide only organic fodder to their livestock and avoid synthetic food additives and synthetic medicines, for example, antibiotics, growth hormones, etc. Good health and welfare of the animals are the main objectives. Here again are some of the steps which are taken in organic livestock farming. In addition to the steps I have discussed before, there are other steps also, like the animals must have safe, cage-free living conditions. Organic farmers must provide their animals with access to the outdoors and pastures so that they can freely roam about. In fact, organic standards require that cows graze on grass for a minimum of 1/3 of their lives. So, year-round access to the outdoors, space for exercise, shade, fresh air, clean and dry bedding, clean drinking water, shelter, direct sunlight. So, organic farming is important because it promotes crop rotation and choosing resistant varieties of crops to maintain soil fertility and to improve crop protection from various pests. Organic nutrient management based on improvement of soil organic matter through manuring, composting or mulching. Growing cover crops for controlling insect, pests and weeds, preventing soil erosion as well as improving the nutrient content in the soil. Relying on natural predators as a biological pest protection measure, weeding as a non-chemical weed management practice, organic residues and nutrients produced on the farm are recycled back to the soil. I conclude my lecture here. In today's video, we discussed the different ways to conserve energy and the meaning and characteristics of organic farming. Thank you.